Hi friends, this is Pastor Keith for Trinity Chapel, Charlotte, joining you today for another edition of Walking Through Westminster as we keep looking at the Westminster Shorter Catechism. Today we come to question 29 of the Shorter Catechism, and that question asks, how are we made partakers of the redemption purchased by Christ? And the answer given, we're made partakers of the redemption purchased by Christ by the effectual application of it to us by His Holy Spirit. And so up until this point, we've been talking about the work of Jesus as our Redeemer in His three offices and in His two estates, the prophet, priest, and king, and in the estates of humiliation and exaltation. He's purchased redemption. He's created a way of salvation for sinners. And now the question we come to today is, how do we lay hold on it? How do we get it? How do we have this medicine applied to our illness of sin? And the answer that the Catechism gives is that we have to have the redemption of Jesus applied to us by His Holy Spirit. So again, this question is really important, and the next probably 10 questions or so, up until we get to the 10 Commandments questions, each question is just going to further flesh out exactly what this question means. What does it mean to have the redemption applied to you, and how specifically is it applied to you by the Holy Spirit? And this question, I think, is really important, and it's really encouraging for us, because what it teaches us is that having redemption for ourselves is something that God does to us. It's something that God does for us. We do not apply the redemption of Jesus to ourselves. We have it applied to us by His Holy Spirit. And so inasmuch as we can trust God, inasmuch as we can trust the Holy Spirit to do His work, we can trust that for all those whom Jesus has purchased in His redemptive work, they will have that redemption effectually applied to them. And that word effectually just means something similar to saying effective, or the effects that it produces. So not only is it going to accomplish what the Spirit intends to accomplish with it, it's going to actually work, but it's also going to produce fruit in us. It's going to produce effects as well. All those things, I think, are encompassed in that little word effectually. It's not just applied to you, it's applied to you effectually by His Holy Spirit, so that we know it works. The redemption the redemption of Jesus applied to us by His Holy Spirit actually accomplishes what He intends for it to accomplish. You might think of a doctor who might prescribe a medicine for you if you have a sickness. And a lot of the times doctors, they'll know that this one particular medication will work on this particular thing, but sometimes they're just trying things. They say, well, you go to the doctor, you have an illness, they say, well, let's try this medication, we'll see if that works, and then if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. For God, there is no sense of that. There's no sense in which God gives things a shot. The redemption that Jesus purchased for us is assuredly and completely effectively applied to us by His Holy Spirit. And like I said, we'll see in the next several questions, I think about the next 10 off the top of my head, they'll all have to deal with this question of our redemption and how it's applied to us by the Holy Spirit and what exactly that means, how that plays out in our own lives. But I just wanted to give you that question today, question 29. I hope that it's encouraging to you. Know, as we go into another week, know that you can trust God. You can trust the Holy Spirit to do that work in you. If you depend on God, the Holy Spirit, He will effectively, perfectly, completely apply that redemption that Jesus has purchased to you and to your soul. Thank you all for joining with me today. I hope that this study has encouraged you in your new week, and I look forward to going through these next few questions with you related to that redemption and how it's applied to us by God's Holy Spirit. Thank you all for being with me. This is Pastor Keith for Trinity Chapel. May God richly bless each one of you.